Well, hello. Today's going to be a little bit of a different video because I wanted to go over some things for a trip that we're getting ready to take to New York City. And this is specifically tips that I am using to help me with taking a child with autism to New York City. I've never been there, don't know what to expect. Largest city I've ever been to is Chicago, so I'm just basing things on what I've done there, though I know New York City is going to be quite more than Chicago. So while I'm working in my garden, this is my pumpkin garden. I'm a little obsessed with pumpkins and gourds and watermelons, so I have a garden just for them. But while I'm working in my garden, I'm going to go over what my tips are and hope that they help you. So the first tip that I could give you that has worked for me in the past is pockets. I use pockets when we are traveling to help with my kids, mostly with like sensory regulation, with helping them not become too overwhelmed. So what a pocket can look like and how we use it is, say, for example, we are in Disney World and we're going on the rides. It's quite hectic. There's kids and babies crying. There's lots of noise from the sounds of the rides. And so I can see my kiddos getting overwhelmed. So I go and I find a pocket, which for us could be a restaurant, a gift shop, a corner that's tucked away, and that's where he needs some downtime. So he can be on his phone, he can be in a restaurant where there's dimmed lights, maybe there's music playing, where he can be still and quiet and not be walking, get cooled off from the hot air. That was a pocket for us in Disney World. So in New York, what I'm thinking is going into like gift shops, going into restaurants, creating those breaks, because we're going to be walking a lot. It's going to be overwhelming. There's people on the go everywhere. I imagine that's going to be very overstimulating. So that's my strategy. I guess we'll see if that works. But pockets, anywhere that you go, you can create pockets of breaks for your kiddo. You just, sometimes it's going to see that environment before you go. Watching YouTube videos, go on Google Maps, see where there are places that you can create. Bring things with you, sensory equipment, noise canceling, headphones, their own music that can listen through headphones, whatever, fidget toys, weighted blankets and vests. Bring those things with you so you can create the pockets. Hi, Miss Emily. Are you enjoying your playpen? This is what she's in when I garden. I don't trust her to run out because we live out in the country and she takes off too fast. But you watch me in there, don't you? Are you ready to go inside? You're done with your playtime? Okay, let's go. Another thing that I use is expectations, and that is going over with my son about what he could expect from where we're going, but also what I expect out of him. So for example, we're going to visit the 911 memorial, and he's got some social delays and quite understanding what's appropriate to say and what's not appropriate to say. And that is like kind of being in a museum, being in a library. You need to be quiet. You need to talk in a whisper. Sometimes he just blurts out whatever he's saying very quickly. And so I'll have to go over with him the expectations of what he kind of needs to be like when we're there, and just to help guide him, and then also reminding him through the trip. Same with like being on a plane, being on the subway. I want him to know what to expect. I will have him watch videos of people being on the subway, have him watch videos of people walking on Times Square. So he's got some kind of basis, some type of idea of what to expect in that environment. And I'm looking for weeds. I just have weeds everywhere. It keeps raining. Rain makes weeds. So expectations, that has helped us a lot. It helps us think about the things that can be troublesome and start talking about them ahead of time, and help him prep for being in whatever the environment is going to be. Ooh. Now look at this gorgeousness. This is actually a volunteer plant. I let some of my Casper white pumpkins just rot here. I left them out for the deer and they came up on their own, so I'm just letting them go. They're gonna get here way too early. But I already have some buds coming. You see I have the flowers. So this one's really looking good. Over here, it's watermelon. I'm trying to think with this. This might be cantaloupe. This is my blue Cinderella pumpkins. Over here, those are Big Macs. And then over here are my giant Atlantics. And they actually get close to 50 pounds. So I'm really excited about those. And then the one thing I haven't planted yet because I forgot are my jack-o'-lanterns. So when I get back from New York City, I'll be adding on back here, and that's where the jack-o'-lanterns are going to go. So another thing that I can give you advice on is disaster prep, or my plan Bs. I work on what could go wrong and go ahead and put a plan in place for whatever that thing can be. And that can be a whole variety of things. Being in New York City, like for my youngest one of the things that is a big trigger for him is if something happened to his phone. His phone is like his lifeline. Like for a lot of us, it's his source of entertainment. He enjoys everything about being on his phone. And if something happened to his phone, he's going to lose it. So I plan for, like, what if, the battery goes dead? What if the phone just stops working? What if he loses the phone? That happened to us in an IKEA once. He sat on a couch and then got up from the couch and it fell into the side, which thankfully I had to find my iPhone and the beeping, but that was a hairy 5 minutes of trying to find the phone. So what I do for him is he has an old iPhone 8. So I bought him actually a second phone, and we take it with us when we travel. So if something happened to that phone, he's got his backup. So there's my plan B, and I prep him. If something happens to your phone, I have a backup. When we go places that I've never been before, I kind of think, what if it doesn't work out in this environment and I have to leave? Where can I go? Where can I get out of the exit? If your kiddo is going to have an utter meltdown, what is your plan of getting out of that environment and getting someplace where they're more supported? So I would think through the things that could go wrong, pack with you the things you need to help you in that situation. Every place you go, you're visiting a museum, you're visiting a zoo, an aquarium, thinking of, like, do they have sensory rooms, bathrooms, anything, where the vending machines are can usually be a quieter area. Where can you go? Think ahead and have that plan in place. Now, here is my little gourd garden. So this is actually a volunteer that has come up from last year, but these are ones that I planted. You can see I got to get those weeds out of there. There are 4 varieties of different gourds. This is all planted under our deck stairs. I use cardboard and leftover landscaping bricks for weed barriers. So it's just a mix of dirt. There's nothing special about this garden. It's very basic. So I have, oh gosh, I don't even remember all the different gourds. I kept all the packets so I can remember them. But then I put these trellises up here because they are the ones that will climb. So I'm ready for that. Gourds are just my favorite. I love to decorate with them for fall. So my last tip for you is schedules. So of course, schedules are important with our kids. They need to know what's going on, what they can know is the next step. So that's going to be tricky with this New York trip because I'm finding it very overwhelming to plan for it. I think this is a place where you kind of show up and you do what you can do in the area that you're at. So I have made these index cards, and when we get into the episodes you're going to see if this ends up being a big failure for me or not. But I used Google Maps and I made a schedule of things we're going to see, like locations of stuff. Now, I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. It's going to be like a checklist. We're going to mark it off. But for most trips, I come up with a schedule. We're going to do this, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. If you ever use visuals like the first and then, that's a good one to use. With my oldest son, I actually take photos of the things that we're doing. And then as we do them, we take them off and they go into the all done envelope so that we're following a schedule. They know what to expect. They know the next, location. They can predict it. It reduces their anxiety. Following a schedule the best you can has really been super helpful for me. But for this trip, it's going to be very tricky. This is not a trip I would ever do with my oldest son. he would not enjoy the busyness of all this. With my youngest one, I do think he's going to struggle with it, but he's the one who wants to do this trip. This is his bucket list thing, to go see the 911 memorial. So we're going to do it the best way that we can do it. It's going to be a big learning experience for all of us. So I hope I'm not making a future video where this all went to crap. But if it did, you know, that's part of the reality of being an autism mom and taking kids who struggle with a lot of things. And we'll learn from it. We'll do better. But I think it's going to be good. I know my kid pretty well, and I won't push it too far. I have a tendency to do that sometimes because we only have 4 days and I want to do everything, but that's not good for him. So we're going to take it at his pace and follow the schedule best we can, do the things that he wants to do, take those breaks, even though mom's like, go, go, go all the time. I'm going to have to pare that back and let him have the time that he needs. So crossing my fingers, let's hope this goes well. Thanks for watching.